Hey guys, just got done watching 2010's Devil. Story by M. Night Shyamalan, who's well known for doing pretty decent work and then it getting a bit bad over time. Anyway, the film stars Chris Messina, Logan Marshall Green, Jenny O'Hara, Bojana Novakovic, Bo Keen Woodbine, Geoffrey Arend, Jacob Vargas, Matt Craven, Joshua Peace. Joshua Peace. I love that. Anyway, so Devil came out in 2010, and it's not a bad movie. It's really quite compelling. So let me get on with the story. Sorry, I got a bit of a cough. Anyway, just come there. Come there. Let the people see you. Let the people see you. Anyway, so basically at the beginning, it looks like somebody jumped off a building and they hit a truck. So policeman Detective Bowden and his partner Detective Markowitz, they go to investigate basically, and there's no glass where the body is. So he says this is not where he fell. And there's this bumper thing that the police officer reckons when the guy jumped out the window, he flew across the town, hit this bumper thing that avoids trucks, and went flying into a different direction. Seems a bit weird to me, but you know, it could happen. It could happen, I guess, if you got superpowers. Anyway, so as he's investigating that, they decide to go looking for the glass, and they find the glass, and him and his partner talk to the cleaner and say, "Look, you can't clean anymore because this is a crime scene, you know, or whatever. We need to thing it." Just at that moment, a big plate of glass comes down and just misses him because he moves him out of the way. Boda moves his partner out of the way, and you're like, whew. So moving forward, it turns out basically that the mechanic, old woman, young woman, and guard, and the salesman, they've got names in the movie, but it was very hard to remember them. One guy that was called Tony, that's what I remembered. So basically, they are all in the building, this building that they're supposed to be doing something or something, and they go in the building, they get in the lift, and the lift breaks down. So basically, they end up listening to this cheesy music. Like when you know, like at Christmas time, we go to Christmas Eve, it goes, "When the river outside is snowing, and it's so delightful. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow." Bloody hell. Anyway, oh. So they get trapped in a lift, so they start basically having a go at each other, you know, like normal people would. There's 5 people in a small lift. We're going to have a go at each other. We're going to attack each other. You know, the usual stuff. And you think, you know, this isn't going to be that good. So the security team of Ramirez and I'm guessing Lustig, those two are basically the security, and they basically notice the pill broke down. They end up turning the music off, and they try and contact them. But the radio is supposed to be two-way, but it's only one way. Only the people in the lift can hear them, which I think made it a bit interesting. So basically, after a certain period of time, the lights go out, and the young woman in the lift, she gets this big, massive, like scratch, bite mark on her back, and people are like, "What did that? Is it a knife? What? Who did it?" So they start thinking it's the salesman who did it because it's a bit creepy. When I say creepy, I mean like over friendly creepy, you know, like most salespeople are. Yeah. Don't ever go see a car salesman. Anyway, so he basically says, "No, it weren't me. It weren't me." The lights go out. He's dead. And people are like, "Who killed him? You killed him. You killed him, guard. You killed him because you've got bad claustrophobia. You used to have some claustrophobia." And basically, it's very compelling because you learn a lot about these characters over the 80 minutes. Like there's slight character developments that you see, and there's a lot of like compelling things. Like Detective Bowden goes, "What happened? What happened?" And Ramirez says to him, he says, "I saw something." And basically on the video feed, you see this kind of smoky thing. And Ramirez believes it's the devil that is in there with him. And you're like, could that have anything to do with the title, Devil? Not sure. So anyway, so basically Ramirez says this real funny, pointless thing, which is like, you know when the kid falls over and he misses the table, and you know when somebody hurts themselves, or when they hurt their finger, or when you drop jelly on toast on the floor and the jelly side falls down. That's when the devil's nearby. So I thought I'd practice, and I dropped my case, my devil case, and let's have a look at it. Ready? Let's say it. Right, here we go. We're going to do it. We're going to say if the devil side comes up or if it falls down on the floor. You ready? Here we go. Here we go. Oh, what side? Oh, the devil's here. The devil's here. Oh, no. Anyway, going back to the review. Oh, dear. Anyway, going back to the review. So I thought that was a really, really silly saying. And and I thought it was pointless. But I guess it was supposed to make you feel the devil's way. So over time, people in the lift start dying. And you're supposed to figure out what's happening. Is it a killer? Is it the devil? Is the devil claiming their souls? Well, the police get closer and closer. What's his name? Dwight the mechanic, not like Dwight the repairman, sorry, of the building. He tries to fix it, and he goes down. And as he's going down, Ramirez says this: if anybody tries to help him, he'll die because the devil's got him in his claws or something, and he won't let anybody help him. What happens? Dwight falls to his death. And you're like, bloody hell, he's right, the devil's involved because he didn't tie himself properly to the line. So anyway. So later on, basically, you see the devil is in one of the people. And he says to the person who's still alive, he says, "I want you." And the person says, the person at the end says to the killer, not to the killer, to the devil, sorry. Says, take me instead. Take my soul. I deserve it." And the devil goes, "Don't try and bargain with me." And basically, because he practically says he deserved it, there's a flashback of the person basically killing a wife and kid 5 years ago. Like from a car crash and kind of leaving them without calling anybody, hit them kind of thing, but into a car. So he does that. So they do that. The person does that, and the devil goes, "I wanted your soul. No," and basically disappears. Yeah, disappears. Takes the person's body with him and just disappears. So then, at the end, it turns out it was the police officer's family. Yeah, he's got that evil person in the car with him. That's right, that person who killed his wife and kid. And do you know what he does? He goes, "I've been waiting for this time for 5 years. What I was going to do to you." And do you know what he says? "I forgive you. I forgive you for killing my family." And you're like, nope. What would have made this film better is if the killer, if he'd have just turned around and shot the person in the head or something. That would have been shocking. It would have been wonderful. Nope. So at the end, he forgives the person, and you're like, yeah, I don't think I could. I guess he does see the footage on the video of him saying what he said, and on the radio when the person says what they did on the radio. But I'm just sitting there going, as the film goes through, you kind of find the backstories of these people, like for instance the guard having a criminal record for beating someone into a coma. The young lady being involved with the person who runs that company and trying to take everything he's got. The salesman doing dodgy dealings. It's not a bad. I always say this. It's not a bad film. It's actually quite a good film. If you haven't seen it before and you kind of sit down and you turn the lights off and you forgive Ramirez for his over-the-top devil stuff, it's not bad, you know. Ramirez is probably my favourite character in the film because the jelly and bread comment, you know, about if the jelly always goes down, it's always down on the floor when when the devil's about. So that kind of made me feel good because I loved that because I was laughing at that for about half an hour. Let's see my cat quickly. Oh, there he is. Yeah, there we go. He's going to be doing some reviews, so look at that. Oh, yeah. Hey. Oh, hey. Anyway, back to the review. So, yeah, it's not a bad film. It's a great film. If you ain't seen it before, it's a good film. If you've seen it before, you'll like it, but the second time around, it's just not as good because obviously you know what's going to happen. As I think that kind of makes the film a lot better, if you ask me. But you haven't seen it before, but you haven't watched spoilers or heard anything about it before. You know, you've heard what I said, but you know, you looked it up. So anyway. It's a good film. I recommend it. I'm going to give it a 3.5 because there was a lot of silly things involved in it. But I did like it. I had a lot of fun with it. And to be honest, there's not much to it. I mean, it's in an elevator and you've got the police trying to get in. You can't do a real long interview on it because, well, to be honest with you, you'd give everything away because it's in an elevator. You know? But it's very tense and thrilling and it's very, like, what's happening? Who's the killer? Who could be the devil? Is there a devil? Is there a killer? You know, and then you kind of realise over time what's happening. And it just gets better and better. You know, I just didn't like the ending as much because I thought the police officer should have shot the person in the head. But that's me. I would like to do that. So I did that to my family. So anyway. So yeah, that's Devil from 2010, guys. Thanks for watching. And take care. And have a lovely day.